Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today. But before I get started, please click the like and subscribe button as it helps this channel grow very quickly. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about why you should be happy you're still holding certain coins. Now, we see everybody's probably thinking, oh, we're so beaten down by this market at this point. How could it get any worse? I'm so disgusted with it. And I wish I would have cashed out back here, or I should have cashed out when it hit this price. The thing is, you should be holding and not be getting fudded out by different things you see all over the internet and other things you see. Oh, crypto's going to zero, this and that. If you're holding certain coins, now is the time that you should be holding on and being patient because the future is coming. So I'll also talk of the Fed raising interest rates again next week. When this happens, the stock market and crypto market tend to crash to the downside. The real question is, has this news already been priced into the market? Now, here's the thing. We know anytime this happens, crypto usually takes a dip. And you're probably thinking right now, oh, great, next week is another week of just either sideways or down. But I think starting next month, it all changes. And I'm going to show you why. So stock markets likely will crash this winter. Now, with a quick Twitter search, you will get flooded with people that believe the stock market's either going to crash by the end of summer, by fall, by winter. I think it takes a little bit longer, but I think a crash is coming. But I think it comes early next year, maybe even, say, spring of next year. I don't think it's going to happen as quick as people think. Then we see this. Why home loans today aren't what they were in the past. In today's housing market, many are beginning to wonder if we're returning to the riskier lending habits and borrowing options that led to the housing crash 15 years ago. I'm telling you right now that the housing market crash is imminent. It's going to happen because I believe banks are writing bad loans. I think they see it as a win-win for the bank because think about it. They write out a bad loan. They give you a bad loan. You go buy a house. You pay $100,000 more than what it's worth because right now the housing market is at an all-time high. But what if you don't pay the loan? Well, they think that the U.S. government's going to come in and save the day and bail them out again. The problem is, I think this time around is going to be very different because we have COVID crisis still going on. We have wars going on. We have shortages of all kinds going on. And the government is in no position to bail out a bank that's giving out bad loans to people they know can never pay it back. And a lot of people on Twitter are pushing the narrative. Like, I think they're realtors and bankers, and they're saying, now's the time to buy a house. You got to get in a house this year. We're in a housing shortage. And they're pushing that narrative because we're at an all-time high. And anyone in crypto knows when you hit that all-time high, everybody wants you to FOMO in. It's like Bitcoin. When it gets to the all-time high, every maxi out there is saying, buy now. Now's the time to buy. And guess what happens? It crashes. We just seen that with Bitcoin. And we're going to see it in the housing market. And then we see this. Don't buy a house until the next housing market crash. This is probably people that are in crypto saying this. Why? Because we're so used to buying the dip that we want to buy the dip on everything. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you're going to buy a brand new car. Well, I'm going to wait until the car market crashes some because you want to buy the dip. You want to get it at the lowest possible price. And that is the narrative set by anyone that is in crypto. So then we see this. That blockchain crypto bubble is taking a lot of people with it when it pops. Now, I also believe we're in a crypto bubble. Every day we see some new coin coming out, and all of a sudden people are FOMOing into it because it's new and people are pushing it all over Twitter or all over the internet somewhere else. But then we see this. A meme coin that's still here, done as a joke, probably won't survive when the bubble pops. Few will survive. Many will consolidate. It's not a matter of if, but when the bubble will pop. Those that survive will keep on building regardless of the price of their coins. So that's what I'm saying. If you're buying a popular meme coin or something that a celebrity's pushing, when it gets to a point that you made profit, cash it out and buy something with actual utility and use case. Because I don't see these coins lasting. So crypto's a part of ISO 222, and then ISO 222 compliant cryptos and rumored likely compliant. Only these cryptos will thrive past 2022. Now, ISO 222 is coming in November. It's going to change the entire banking system. SWIFT is going to be massive. But before that, we also see Flare launching on July 4th of this year, next month. Flare launches, ISO 222 is in November. If you're not holding any of these coins, now's the time you should be buying. Because guess what? When all that crisis takes place, anyone holding any of this crypto is not going to be affected the same way as the rest of the world. So then we see this. Compliant ISO 222 cryptos will see a boom in 2022 with SWIFT adoption. ISO 222 standard threatens some cryptos. Adoptions of the standard will affect cryptos like Bitcoin and keep it from becoming ubiquitous and international money transfer. However, QNT and XDC will boom. It's not only QNT and XDC, it's going to be XRP, XLM, IOTA. I mean, I might have missed a few, but it's going to be massive when this happens. So then all of a sudden, what happens next? The housing market crash happens. Most likely the stock market will crash. Then you'll see other things crash with it. The used car market, the new car market. And you're going to be sitting back and you're going to be saying, man, I am so glad that I went into these cryptos when they were cheap, like right now. And now I made all this money. You're not going to be so concerned about the stock market. You're going to be like, oh, well, I see it crashing, but that's okay. I'm okay financially. And I think crypto will be used a lot more at that time. You're going to be able to buy things with your crypto. Just takes time. Tired of seeing these descending triangle chart tweets talking about an imminent breakout. ISO 222 adoption from SWIFT banking system is coming in November of 2022. I'm not worried about price action right now. That's what I'm saying. You look at the market and you're beaten down. You're like, oh, my coin went down another 10%. Or my whatever crypto I'm holding went down another 15%. But I'm not concerned because I know what's coming and it's going to start next month. When Flare comes out, I think it's going to be very, very big. I think we're going to see a lot of these coins start moving to the upside. We might not even see Bitcoin move to the upside with them. It might be the beginning of the flip, is what I'm telling you. Remember, the Fed is not SWIFT. The Treasury can work with SWIFT when it goes live, ISO 222. And the Fed is dead, so who cares about 2025? And what they're talking about here is this. So for November 2023, in a forthcoming Federal Register notice, the Fed is trying to delay ISO 222 implementation until 2025. The thing is that I see this, and I think that some of this might be just FUD, people just putting it out there to make people worry more. But here's the thing. I think ISO 222 happens this November because we're not going to be left behind. The U.S. is not going to be left behind when it comes to adoption. When the rest of the world is still going to move forward, we can't be just sitting here doing nothing. We can't. You could delay it as much as you want because the rest of the world is still going to move forward this year. And I think that's FUD that you see all over Twitter when it comes to this whole pushing it into the future thing. It's like, oh, delaying it. It could be Bitcoin people saying that, Ethereum people saying that. And then we see this. So This looks like a perfect list. And if you look at this list and you're not holding any of these coins, you're going to miss out on the future. And the future is right around the corner. So with all the crisis you see going on, all the food shortages, we know the housing market crash is imminent. We know the stock market crash is most likely imminent. We know everything is going to get very bad or much worse. We have recession, inflation, all those things going on. If you're holding any of these coins, or the coins I showed you, then you're going to be like, okay, well, I'm not worried because I know I hold the future. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. Now's the time to buy. Every one of them I think are at a cheap or very low price right now. And now's the time to get in. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.